Welcome back to Apex Investor. As I said previously, we would do a video once the reverse split takes effect. Today is day one of the reverse split, and it couldn't have got any better. People were saying on the subreddit, this will dip. All reverse splits dip. They were wrong. Okay, they weren't completely wrong. It did dip to $4.54. And then it went up all the way to $8.13. And it finished the day at $6.57. The days range 450 to 819. The volume was incredible because when you factor in the reverse split, the average is actually 2.5 daily. Today, 38 million. Okay, what would that be when you factor in the reverse split? Well, 2.5, or roughly 2 times 20, that's 5 times 0, that's 50 million. Okay, 38 million times 2 is 76 times 0, 760 million. That's what the volume was when you take into factor the reverse split. So this couldn't have gone any better. It's a good start, but as I said, we should wait at least a week until we see the first spike. It could take 3 days, it could take a week, could take 2 weeks. We really don't know the amount of days it will take, but when the first spike occurs, then we will know that was the first spike. Is this the first spike at $8? No, it's not. Clearly it isn't. If you look at the last 5 days, that is not a spike. Okay, that is not a spike at all. I'm thinking the spike would be around at least $10 to $20, the first spike. And then the second spike, something like 20 to 40 or 20 to 30 even. If you look at the last year, it gives us an idea. That's a spike. That's a spike. Okay, it's a clear inverted V, and then it goes down. But then recapitulates and goes up. If you look at the last 5 years, you see the same thing. There was an initial first spike. It's hard to see it in this chart, but just if you look at this more in depth, you will see there was an initial spike in the first one, and then it spiked bigger. The second spike, same thing, and then the third one, as you can see here, the clear first spike, and then a second spike. Excuse me. Okay, I'm just getting over a flu. So I think that's all for looking at the stock, Holo. So we'll look at the subreddit next. Okay, so I'm here at the subreddit, and I'm going to look at all these tabs. There's like 50 tabs. The first post, holding until 90, I think it's a very dangerous. Okay, not very dangerous, but it is risky because I'm getting vibes of people who are trolling. Because if it doesn't go to 90, then you're screwed and you're holding the bag. Okay, so these crazy expectations of 300 and 90. I mean, 100 is realistic, 90 is realistic in a sense, but if it doesn't reach there, then you're stuck. So you have to temper your expectations with reality, and the reality is we only know what the number will be after the first spike. It will give us a sense of what it will be. The first spike, let's just say it's $10 or $20. The second spike is probably double the amount. Probably. This person's comparing Holo to Reddit. Not a good comparison. Yeah, again, a poor comparison. And not really tempering expectations with reality. And that's something I want to stress in this channel. I'm not about delusion and pumping up numbers that are unrealistic. I want to present the truth and the reality. Little pump today. We will see what comes of tomorrow. Yeah, we will see. It's going to take at least a week, 2 weeks. There's only day one, and already on day one it's made a lot of progress just in day one, but it wasn't supposed to, because everyone was saying that it's going to dip. That's what the consensus was. It's going to dip, it's going to dip. And it didn't dip. I mean, it did dip initially, but it did not dip. At the end of the day, it stayed above $6. So we can see all these overreactions. Well, not overreactions, just excitement. People are very excited, and understandably so. Halted trading. I didn't know they halted trading. And reports are that they halted trading even before, pre-market was halted. Okay, so again, just a lot of excitement here. Where did everyone hop on? That is probably a short. I'm going to close that. I'm not going to entertain that. Will it dip? You know what? That's actually a good question. Because day one, it's not supposed to go up this much. It's not supposed to go up this much, right? According to even the subreddit people. So hypothetically, let's say it goes down to $4. Then it goes down, but it's not going to stay down. Sorry, I'm just going to put this on airplane mode. Okay, so yeah, I think it's hard to say, because with the momentum just off day one, it's looking highly unlikely it will dip. But, never say never. Things can always go badly. It can go down to $4 again. And if it does, buy right away. Don't squander that opportunity. So I don't think it's likely for it to dip again, but you never know. Up 32% and halted. Let's go. Yeah, I think in pre-market it was around $8 or $9, if I'm not mistaken. So it's not loading these tabs for whatever reason. I've got 7 right now. I'm just gonna look at it on my phone. Holo. Because if I'm correct that it did go up to $9 pre-market, then we've got something really crazy to expect. Okay, so all right. It was at 8:13, 10:05 a.m., but in the pre-market hours, it went up to 677. Actually, I think it was higher. I think it was at $7 pre-market. Maybe even $9, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong, but... And if you look at the chart itself, it looks so stable. It was pretty much flatlined. And that's a bad sign for the shorts, because if no one's selling, it has nowhere else to go but up. And one of our favorite posters, Let's Do This 169, posted an image, so I want to take a look at that, because he's gained a lot of respect from me anyway. So let's see what he posted here. Largest transactions. Bought, sold. Okay, I don't really know what he's showing me right here. I think these are insiders. Oh, these are the people who bought. So I think they bought this today. This is all the volume that came in. Oh my goodness. They are all in it. When I say in it, they're all aware of... they're very much aware of this squeeze. Pump and dump, whatever you want to call it. They are all on board. And they're not ignorant of the potential here. Holy smoke, they really went all in. This is a great post. So insiders bought, holy, how many did they buy? 700, 800, no, 750. A million plus 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, so about 1.5, 1.6 million just on the insiders. That's a great post. Thanks for sharing that. Let's do this. My break even 50. Okay. My break even is $50 after the reverse split. Oh shoot, you must have bought at a lot. I would share mine, but that's very much discouraged to share. I'll share it after I cash out. Then I'll share it when it doesn't make sense to. When it doesn't matter anymore, I'll share what my break even was. Quick questions: are 40% swings normal? This is my first time. I didn't know if it was anything to worry about. Also, the pump isn't a one-day thing, right? It would probably be best to hold after the market closes. So I'm going to answer this. 40% swings, I wouldn't say they're normal, but if you've lived through GameStop, AMC, you start to learn that anything is possible. Nothing is out of the realm of possibility. So we're not dealing with a normal situation with Holo. This is one of the biggest gambles in the stock market right now. But the risk reward is very high too. So yes, the risk is high, but the reward is equally high. This is my first time. I didn't know if it was anything to worry about. Is the pump a one-day thing? No, it's not a one-day thing. It's probably a 3-week thing. 2 to 3 week thing. Hold after the market closes? You know what? I'm not a financial advisor, but my advice, and this is not financial advice, but my advice to you would be wait for the first spike. It hasn't happened yet. So I plan to do my next video after the first spike or when the first spike occurs, which I'm gambling it's going to be $10 to $20. That's the first spike. $10 to $20 because when it spiked a month or two ago, it was around 75 cents. So if we look at the chart, hold on, let me just pause for a moment. Okay, my computer's acting up. Okay, so to answer his question, should he hold after the market closes? And my advice, and I'm going to say unofficial advice because I'm not a financial advisor, is you have to look at the chart and estimate, okay, when is the first spike and how much will that be? Looking at this chart, it looks like resistance is closer to $8. But because, again, this is an anomaly, this is not normal. August 22nd, I think that gives us an idea of what the first spike will look like. And it's $13.88. $14 is looking like the first spike. Okay, and then the second spike, probably whatever this number is, $64 or maybe $39. So it gives us a sense of, the chart history gives us a sense of what this squeeze will look like. Okay, so I'm estimating the first spike, again, between $10 to $14. That's the first spike, just based on technical analysis. And then the second spike probably will be between 40 to 64. Or even 60. So 40 to 60. Let's just temper expectations. So 40 to 60. So if it goes to 40 to 60, and the number of shares I hold is 900 right now with the post-reverse split. So if it goes to 40, I'll have made double the amount. Something like that. Okay, it goes to 60. That is also a big number. So it will have paid off, but we will see. All right, next post here. You did not buy in fear of the big dip, and that's what I was saying. I've been saying this for the last week. Do not hold out on buying because you can't predict what will happen. This is not a regular stock. We can't just say, it's going to go down because every stock dips after a reverse split. That's not the case here. That was not the case here. So the people were wrong, the people in the subreddit. When do people think it will dip and how low? That's actually, after I've given it a little more thought, it will dip, and it dips after the first spike. So again, let's say it does dip or a spike to 10 to 14. Okay, 10 to 14, I think it will dip to maybe $6. Maybe even $4, who knows. But the first spike has to occur, and then you can have a big sell-off. Little do they know there's a second spike coming up. And then after that first spike and that first dip, and I mean a real dip, it's not going to stay at 10 to 14 for too long. It's going to go down to perhaps 7, perhaps 6, perhaps 4, who knows. And then it's going to spike majorly to 40 to 60. Maybe 30 to 40, who knows. Let me just pause for a moment. I hope I'm paused. I don't know if I'm paused right now. My computer's acting up right now. So I'm also sick, and my computer seems to be sick too. Let me just alt tab this. Okay, we are still recording. Hold on. Okay, pardon the interruption. So as I was saying, 10 to 14 looks like the first spike to me. Could be wrong. Hopefully it's $20 maybe. And then the second spike is looking like 64 based on this chart here. Maybe even 60. If we look at the previous spike, it went to 60, 66. It doesn't show there, but I remember it was 66. And actually, the intraday high was 100. It was at 100. Okay, so that's actually a good question, and I didn't give it too much thought, but yeah, it's gonna spike and then go down from that first spike. The reverse split will bring the price lower. Actually, my question, and if anyone can answer this in the comments, is because they stayed above $1 for the trading session, are they safe? Are they safe on the stock market? Or does it have to be 8 days in a row? So I'm going to look that up. Okay, so according to Bloomberg law, it says that a company on the stock exchange, on the NASDAQ, to not be delisted for non-compliance, they have to stay at least $1 closing bid. So at the close of the day, $1 for at least 30 consecutive business days. So if Holo can stay compliant, if it can stay above $1 for the next 29 days, so we're talking about November the 10th, 11th, that's Veterans Day. So if it can stay above $1 for the next month, then things are looking good for Holo. So that is the law. Holo question: does 400 shares down to 20 make sense? Yeah, I think that's post split. You would have 20 shares. That's correct. If the stock goes to 100, you would have 2,000. If the stock went to 100 with 400 shares, that's 40,000. What am I missing? I don't understand what he's trying to ask. You're missing the reverse split. It was a 20 to 1. So for every 20 shares, you get 1 share. Thank you. Wouldn't $100 a share equal out to the same amount? Apologies. If this is $100 now, it would have been $5 if the reverse split didn't happen. So basically, if it hits 100, it's directly because of your 400 shares turning into 20. I wouldn't focus on the share quantity. I'd focus on the average cost. Good point. So take your 20 shares divided by the total amount you spent. That will be your average cost. So I think he answered it. Starting to dip. Last post for this video. Okay, what is he even saying? Starting to dip. No. It dipped in the opening hour. That's about it. So if you want to call that a dip, you need some help, my friend. You need some help. Again, I'm going to stick to my guns here and say that the first spike, it's looking like 10 to 14. 10 to 14 might be the first spike. Maybe even 10 to 20, who knows? And then the second spike, after it goes from that first spike, it'll dip down to perhaps 7, perhaps 4, who knows? It's going to go down. And then it will go to the second spike. Pretty much by the numbers, it's going to go to something like 30, something like 40, maybe even 64, who knows? As much as I want to say 77 because it's a nice number, no, this is looking like it right here, 64. It might go to 100, I don't know. I mean, they've figured out this pump and dump. Holo people, the Holo administration, they seem to have figured out this pump and dump business to a T. So much so that on day one, it didn't dip. Okay, that is alarming if I'm a short. I'm going, what the heck? We couldn't stop this. It was up, what, 26%, okay? 26% on day one. That is unprecedented, in my opinion. And if I look at the trending stocks, it's not going to help the shorts. It's actually popular today. There it is. Holo in the top 10. Literally number 2, below Costco, one of the best stocks in the stock market. I don't know what else to say. It's a lot more eyes are towards the stock now. Will it continue an upward climb in the next 7 to 14 days, maybe even 21 days? That's not for me to say. I don't know. We have to let time pass. And again, the first spike, I believe it'll be 10 to 14. And the second spike probably, whatever this number is here, 20 to 40, maybe even 20 to 60. I think 60 is looking like, I hate to say this, absolute, but it looks like the absolute peak at this point, 60, 66, but you never know. I mean, if they can pull this rabbit out of the hat again and hit 100, my goodness, I would so jump on for the fifth one, for the fifth pump and dump, but it would have to be at a reasonable price, more reasonable than what I paid initially. Probably 5 cents or 10 cents. I don't know what it's going to be, but when I start seeing people panicking, that's probably when I should buy. People just panicking all over the place. Okay, so that's it for me in this video. Thank you very much for your time. Things are looking very good for Holo. It is a matter of faith, because a lot of people were griefing, dooming, glooming, spreading fear, uncertainty, and doubt on the subreddit. And if you just hold out and never give up, you can see things are looking brighter just on day one. But this is not the peak. The peak we're looking for is at least $10, $14, and then eventually 20 to 60. So thank you. Until next time, we'll do a video after the first spike. I'm not going to do a video until the first spike. Okay, so keep that in mind. It might take a week from now, but we'll see. It might take 14 days from now, we'll see. But I will not do a video unless something crazy happens, like a 100% increase. So thank you again. Till next time, God bless you all, and God bless your investments.